All right, welcome everyone. Would like to announce a new initiative here at Kemp that we're calling the Technical Preview Program. My name's Benjamin Hodge. I'm the Principal Technical Advisor at Kemp Technologies, working in R&D, particularly around our Strategic and Technical Research Group. And I've got Kurt Jung here with me from our Product Strategy Group. Hi Kurt, how are you going?
Hey Ben, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks so much for joining us today and for helping with getting this off the ground.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be a part of this program, and again, like you said, really kind of kick this thing off and get this engagement going.
Yeah, so really, when we're looking at the technical preview program, what we're really trying to do is extend some of the existing initiatives that we've had here with Kemp, and particularly around how we engage with customers during our innovation and solution design process. So, we've always had really good engagement with customers. We have a lot of very close, long-running relationships with certain key accounts and people that are always willing to help out, even in our partner community. A lot of expertise there that helps us deliver great solutions. But one of the problems with that is, we tend to have difficulty getting out to a broader audience, and not all customers can kind of invest the amount of time and effort that takes to participate in those more closed groups and kind of long-running relationships. So what we're really hoping to do is broaden our ability to talk to you, engage with you, show you what we're working on, get feedback from you, and really enable us all to collaborate better, for you to have a stronger voice in our design and development process, and together to be able to get solutions out to you faster to help you solve problems.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, I think that's really the kind of the spirit of this program, is really getting that further reach out to all those customers that, again, we don't get the interaction with on a more frequent basis, but really kind of taking that customer engagement that has really made us who we are today, just kind of taking that up to the next level, and getting just more engagement with customers, because again, we've had great success with that kind of engagement with customers.
Yeah, and I think, hopefully, as you see, as we step through some of the details, this is meant to be very lightweight to engage in, something that you can do on demand, and really something we hope will benefit all our customers and partners. So what we're really talking about here is sort of taking some of the things that we already have within R&D. We have a constant process of rapid prototyping, and rapid delivery internally, but getting those features up to the level of quality that's required for production usage, particularly since one of our key benefits of our technologies is high availability and stability of your infrastructure. That can take a lot more time and effort to kind of get something up to that stage, even though we have the functionality in-house. So what we're really trying to do is expose that earlier to anyone who is interested in our customer and partner base. And you can see the general direction of that functionality and those features earlier on, and then obviously start to give us feedback about what's really important to you. Even, is that important to you? Is that something that you need us to accelerate? And obviously the more engagement we get around things, that just helps us make better decisions about priorities and what's most important to most people. And I'm sure everyone can relate to having a long backlog of great ideas and work that needs to be done, and lots of stakeholders kind of asking for lots of deliverables, right? So that just helps us make sure we're aligning as best as we can with you. And we have lots of great mechanisms for you providing feedback, and we'll share some more of that. So it'll definitely have a massive impact on our roadmap, in particular around our priorities and what we do first and what we do fastest.
Yeah, kind of when we kind of kicked off this program, I got again, very excited about being able to provide this kind of access to customers, kind of getting that early access to some of these features. I mean, because in a prior life when I was kind of doing more network administration stuff, I mean, I got involved in a lot of these kind of technical preview programs with different vendors and stuff like that. And I just being in that role and being able to again get that early access and work with those vendors. I mean, I've from looking at it from the other side, I loved that kind of engagement with the. So I'm hoping that we do get a lot of interest from either existing customers or even new customers that are looking for some of these features. I'm really hopeful that again people get excited about it as much as I did when I was in those roles.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very, very excited about this. So, Kurt, do you want to take us through a little bit of the process, especially, I know you do a lot of work in product strategy around the early stages in kind of market analysis and demand.
Yeah, so I mean, we've already mentioned, we start talking about, the process of these kind of features going through this program. Customer demand is very high on that, right? So we do have a lot of customers today that are looking for different things, features, expanding existing features and things like that. Also from the strategy side of the house here, we also work a lot with industry analysts, kind of looking at where the adoption is of some of these new technologies and really trying to work that into this process where we're able to get some of these, put together a kind of a rapid prototype, a POC within Kemp, where we all kind of distribute it, kick the tires, we make sure it is to that standard in order to release it out to customers. Right now, customers can then be able to launch these through this technical preview program, and eventually, again, giving us that feedback back to the product team. We can again, fine tune this, and it really is going to be. This is really kind of the key here is getting the customers that are downloading and engaging with us to again vote on these things in order to get them to the next stage of moving them into the product itself. That's really kind of the key piece here.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, particularly with the work we do in STR and the kind of rapid prototype, we're heavily involved in that rapid prototyping stage. And I guess in the past, we would connect through our sales and pre-sales teams with customers or partners they knew. We talk to them, we'd sort of get ideas and feedback, but then generally it would be really about waiting for that prototype or that POC to get into a GA release where customers would see this, right, for most people. And I think, having this as an interim step and an earlier step is really exciting for me, because when we're designing these things, a lot of the time, we get really interesting use cases in those early engagements. Definitely in some of the early technical preview features that we're putting out there, we've had fantastic kind of ideas come out of customer discussions to do something a little bit different than what we anticipated, but that solves a problem in a much better way, or solves more problems than we were originally hoping to address. And really, it's just it's just another milestone and another way of getting it out there faster to people, and getting more people participating in that conversation. But yeah, definitely for me, having that feedback quickly for the work that my teams are doing in STR is going to be really exciting for us, and really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a lot of variations on these type of programs from different vendors. I would say this is not a traditional beta program. We're not really looking for technical validation in terms of like what are the bugs or the features. At these very early stages, we know these features work in a very limited environment. What we're really trying to do is work out what our architecture should be, because that can be very difficult to change later on once we pile more and more settings and features on it. So they tend to be narrow in scope in how many features are currently supported. And just kind of validate that the problem is what we think it is, find out new problems that you might want us to prioritize as we expand the scope and things like that. So we've tried to think about how do we make this as easy and interactive as possible. How do you get the most out of it, as someone participating with us? And how do we support that as best as possible to make sure you have a nice, clean kind of setup and experience? Because we're not really looking, for you to try, every variation or sit down and spend hours and hours and hours finding out all the little kinks in this. We already have an early access program, which is more like a beta where we, when we're close to finishing development, certain customers we know with that issue, we'll send that to them just to check that, a particular thing has been resolved or does function as we expect in production. But this is really just about showing you some ideas that we think are, valuable and exciting and cool in what you might think of as like a lab environment, right? So it's very much a kind of hollow world scenario. And we're going to give you as many resources and videos and guides around making sure you can create that environment cleanly. You can test, what we know works and get a feel for this feature as quickly as possible. We're not creating a whole lot of headache with you with debugging and trying to work out, why it works on our laptop and it doesn't work on yours. These things are obviously not supported anywhere close to production. It is very much a lab-like experience. But Kurt and myself in particular, as well as the development teams, will do our best to give best effort support on getting through those guides and those labs. And also Kurt and I want to talk with you guys either via the ideas portal where you can just come yourself and create ideas, vote on ideas that are already there, discuss with other users, discuss with us, and we might send out the occasional invitation to have a kind of roundtable or panel discussion on a particular area or a survey.
Yeah,
so really,
we're of course very interested in talking to you about the new features and functionality that we're putting out, but also some surveys regarding the program itself, the technical preview program. So we want to make sure that the program's working and you are getting the support you need. So that feedback is important as well.
Yeah, very much so. How do we make this better? If we haven't got it right, we definitely want to make this something that's of interest and valuable, and then people are getting a lot of insight and ideas out of this. So, Coach, do you want to just?
Yeah, I can walk through. Yeah, I can walk through this. So, to engage with us, get started with the program, it's real simple. Just visit us at kemp.ax under resources and under try. You'll see the technical preview link there. You can just go ahead and launch that. This will bring you to the actual programs page. This is where we'll have a listing of all the available projects that are available in the program, and even some upcoming ones that you can be looking forward to. And this, going off that, you can select one or more of the projects that are part of the program. And once you go into one of them, in this case, the Kubernetes service controller, here you'll have some more information about this particular one, some more details, some links, as Ben mentioned before, to the ideas portal where you can do your voting. There'll be some links to some videos and some deployment guides as well. And once you're into this page, you can go ahead and enroll into that program, and you'll come to the login page. So a Kemp ID is required, but you can, if you have an existing one, you can use it. If you don't, in the top right-hand corner there, you can create a new Kemp ID. When you create that Kemp ID and log in, you'll be able to download the package. How that's packaged is going to depend on obviously on the feature and functionality that we're delivering, but more than enough details on how to install it and get everything up and running will be available. And as Ben mentioned before, in the event that you do run into any troubles, you can always reach out to support, and they'll escalate it to the technical preview team. Ben, you want to talk about a few of the programs that we're going to launch to kick this off?
Yeah, so we're sort of going to do our best to get things out as regularly as possible, and kind of have a bit of a rolling program here where there's new things to look and try out. The first two that we want to put out there is native Ansible integration. So we've always had the ability to do configuration management via third-party tools using our REST API. It's a very mature API with LoadMaster. But with a lot of these tools, having a native module where you have a little bit more domain expertise built into the module itself, take some of the heavy lifting out of your own automation and configuration management tasks, has a lot of benefit. So we've been looking at this idea for a while around providing native modules and integration for a number of tools. Ansible's the one we've done first. We're currently working on Puppet, and we do have Chef in the backlog there to start working on. So this is really just a look at the first iteration of that. It's very much focused around a specific use case around self-service of virtual service management for application teams. And that'll be the first one that comes out in the coming days, hopefully, and is available. The second one is around Kubernetes, and particularly around ingress controller services. But we're also taken a bit of a different approach with this, and we think we have some good ideas in there that might actually expand on some of the abilities you get with the native ingress control experience from Kubernetes, and it helps solve some specific problems, especially for managed service providers or for network and platform operations teams that are using shared infrastructure for multiple service teams. So that'll probably come in the next week or two once the program goes live. So we'll try and have these things out there. They'll be marked as available. And then as we have the next sort of batch of things we're working on, we'll start to kind of put them up as coming soon, so you can see a little bit of a pipeline, a little bit of a roadmap for things that you might be interested in.
Yeah, that's great. And I've already been having a ton of fun with these already, kicking the tires already on these. It's great. That's great.
Yeah, Kurt and I are quality control on the documentation, so hopefully you guys have a nice, smooth experience, because we've already done all of the dumb things that we forgot to write down.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, again, with that, we invite you to join the program, engage with us on a lot of these features that we're putting out to again help us really kind of shape these as we move forward. I think it's and I know here at Kemp we're super excited about the program and really starting to again have that much more engagement with customers. So yeah, I think it's a win for everybody with this program. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening and for your time. We've been really grateful that you've come and to check this out, and we really hope to hear from a lot of you over the coming weeks and months. And Kurt and myself will kind of definitely be personally available and engage with anyone who has questions or ideas or feedback, or just wants to reach out to us.
Yeah, sounds great. So with that, we'll talk soon.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Kurt. Talk soon. Bye.